Alright guys, so today I have a really cool trick that will hopefully fool you, and this is what it looks like. So we can begin by just shuffling the cards. You can see here, right, all the cards are mixed and shuffled. So I'm gonna have the spectator basically cut somewhere in the center of the pack, not too high, not too low, just somewhere in the middle, because I really truly don't want to know anything about the card. So you're gonna cut the cards, hold it to your chest, and then look down at the bottom card of that pile, and that will be your card. And then you can shuffle the cards as much as you want. So I'm gonna turn my head, but spectator can cut somewhere in the middle. They're gonna look at the card. I promise I'm not looking, but this is gonna be the spectator's card. And then they can immediately shuffle the cards as much as they want, just like this, okay? And then they can continue to shuffle, and if I had another spectator here, I would tell them to take the remaining cards and start dealing them on the table like this. You could also shuffle these, I forgot to mention, you can shuffle these as much as you'd like. You can also deal them in little chunks if you'd like, but stop somewhere halfway and then take the other spectator's pile with their card. We'll drop it in here, and then shuffle these and drop these on top, so that will just bury all the cards somewhere in the center. And then what if we further shuffled it by giving it a couple of these nice little ripple shuffles here? So you can agree, right? This is a completely shuffled, completely mixed up deck of cards. However, I am gonna try to locate your card somehow. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to go by feel. I think it's actually somewhere near the top here. I feel like it might be this one. It was a red card, correct? Yeah, and it was also, I feel like it was a diamond. Although, hold on, I think I might actually be off by one. I think I might be off by one. Don't tell me what the card was. I think I'm off by one. So let me just see. I'm gonna try to get the right one here. I think it should be, I think this is your card. So spectator, can you hold out your hand for me? They do this. So what was your card? You can say it out loud for the first time. I'm committed, this is your card. They tell me it was the 6 of diamonds, and I say, thank God I changed, because I told you I was off by one. Take a look at the card I placed in your hand, and it is exactly the 6 of diamonds. And that is the trick right there, and everything is completely examinable. So that's the trick. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you were fooled. And if you would like to learn this, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. All right, guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So as you can see, this is an incredibly deceptive trick that just looks super, super fooling. I love this trick so much, but yeah, let's get right into how this is done. So this trick does require a little bit of a setup, but fortunately it's actually pretty simple. All you're gonna wanna do is choose any suit. I chose the diamonds, and you're gonna wanna remove all of those cards from the deck and then arrange them in ascending numerical order. So I've arranged the diamonds all the way from ace up to king. So once you have these cards, you're just going to simply place these cards in the center of the deck. So I do this by looking at the cards sideways like this and then kind of opening the cards like a book to try to split the cards as evenly in half as possible. It doesn't have to be exact, but as long as you can get as close as you can, that will be perfectly fine. We'll take our stack, place it right in there. So the deck setup should look something like this. And once you have this, you're all ready to go. So you can start the trick by giving the deck a little bit of a false shuffle if you'd like. Totally not necessary. You can also give it a false cut as well. But this is how I like to show the cards before we start, is I like to do a very simple block push by spreading through the cards. And then when I see the first king of diamonds, I'm just gonna block push over a big chunk of cards so that I will go directly past all of those diamonds. But a way to sort of hide this even further is to spread little chunks and then continuously turn my wrists over like this, just sort of showing all the cards here. Once I see the diamonds, I'll block push everything and then continue to spread and turn my wrists over. And this will sort of hide the discrepancy that you are not actually seeing any diamonds in the deck and that you're only seeing hearts as the red cards in the deck. But once you show the spectator that the cards have been shuffled, you're simply going to turn the cards face down, place them on the table, and ask the spectator to cut somewhere in the center of the pack, but make it clear that you want them to cut somewhere halfway and not too shallow or deep, because you are basically trying to get them to cut within your stack of diamonds. And this is the reason why you place the diamonds in the center of the pack. So to ensure that they will do this, I tell them to not cut too high or too low. Try to cut somewhere halfway, because I don't want to know anything about the card. I don't want you to think that I was looking at the top top or bottom cards. So this will help for them to cut halfway. And you can also look at where they cut at this point. You don't have to turn away quite yet, because if they do cut too shallow, you could tell them to restart and cut again, just cut a little deeper this time. So if they cut here, should be perfectly fine. You're going to ask them to hold it to their chest and to take a look at whatever card is on the face of the packet, and that will be their card. So in this case, the spectator will be remembering the 8 of diamonds, and then you tell them to immediately shuffle the cards. So remember, you haven't seen this card. You don't know what card they picked, and they're going to shuffle the cards completely at this point. So to you, everything has still been face down. All you know is that they have chosen a diamond. That's all you know. So now if there was a second spectator, you are going to tell them to pick up the remaining pile and to start dealing the cards on the table one at a time. So when they do this, they're going to start dealing the cards one at a time. And basically what this will do is it will take the next diamond and it will place it as the bottom card of this pile. So once they deal that first card, you're basically clear to have them shuffle the cards. Once that card goes down, you remind them that they can actually shuffle this pile as much as they wish. So they can now freely shuffle the pile because that first card has already been locked in. So now they can shuffle, and then tell them to stop about halfway so that we can take this pile with their selection that has also been shuffled, and we'll go ahead and drop this in the middle of the deck, and then we'll take the remaining cards, which can also be shuffled, and drop those on top. So from the spectator's perspective, this looks completely fair, completely random. It looks like there has been no way you could control anything in this trick. And the next part will prove that even further. And what you will do is essentially give the cards as many riffle shuffles as you'd like, but all you're going to do is simply retain the bottom card of the deck. So you can give the cards as many riffle shuffles as you like, just make sure to shuffle that bottom card first. And if you do this as many times as you'd like, that bottom card will remain on the bottom, which is exactly what you need. So once the cards have been shuffled and that card is still on the bottom, remember, you haven't seen anything yet. You still don't know which card they selected. What you're going to do is cut the cards in half and hold a break. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to pull out the bottom card, which is going to be right above your pinky. So I'm going to spread through and say, I'm going to try to feel for your card. And all I'm going to do is spread until I get to my pinky break. And I'm going to simply remove the card that is touching my pinky. So this is the card that is right above my pinky. And this is the card that I'm going to remove. And this card is none other than that bottom card that you are controlling the entire time. Once that card goes down, you can shuffle the cards and say, I already know your card was a red card and it was also a diamond. And you can state those as facts because that is true. However, at this point, you don't know which diamond they chose. And this is the point where you're going to find out exactly which diamond they chose, because you're going to say this next line, which is, although I think actually the card I just found, I think I might be off by 1. So let me just double check. And then what you're going to do is look at this card for the first time. This is the first time that you are actually seeing what this card is. And all you're going to do is subtract 1 from it, and that will be their card. So obviously we have the 9 of diamonds. If we just subtract 1, that will be the 8 of diamonds. So I'll leave this card on the table and say, yeah, I think I was off by 1. And now all you do is you go through the shuffled deck and you're going to find the right card, which is going to be the 8 of diamonds. You ask the spectator to hold out their hand and they will place the card in their hand. So now you're completely locked in and you have the spectator name their card because you're committed. It's the card in their hand. They'll tell you it was the 8 of diamonds. And then you say, it's a good thing I changed my mind because I really was off by 1. And then I show this 9 of diamonds, and this just proves that you knew what their card was the entire time because you did say this before you even looked at the card. And then they will be even more amazed when they flip over the correct card, which is in their hands. And yeah, that is the trick. And at this point, everything can be completely examined because the deck was utterly, completely shuffled by everybody in this trick. And yeah, I love this trick so much. I think it's so fooling and so direct and so hard hitting. So yeah, anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Definitely go out and try it, perform it. Let me know how it goes. Hopefully you guys like it as well. And yeah, see you guys for the next one. Bye.